This guy, Sean Hip 2, I played some of his puzzles a while ago, and I honestly forgot to come back to play more of them. Starting from his first one-screen puzzle, let's go. We're gonna start at the beginning. Puzzling good.
World Wiggered.
So right off the start here, I'm gonna do a P-switch jump and then go in the door to respawn the P-switch. I wanna hit the P-switch as quickly as possible like that because we can't get the star until the P-switch timer runs out. This is because the turn block that's trapping the star is not going to let the star out until the P-switch timer runs out. So I'm gonna throw the shell right when the star is at a certain point up there so that its cycle lines up later on. Because right here, we have to wait for the star power to run out before I can touch the shell. So I want it so that the star power runs out right when the shell is right by the door so I can grab the shell and instantly run through the door like that. This next part was definitely the hardest part of the level, so we have to juggle the shell, but then re-hit the shell so that it stops in the right spot for us to be able to grab it. Throw the P-switch over there so that we have a platform later on to stand on, and then we have to kick the shell down there also, but before the shell hits, we have to be in position with the POW so we can throw the POW while the shell is in the air so that the POW doesn't destroy the shell and gets us the key. So we hit the POW block to remove the muncher under the final key door, and then I do this series of jumps to prevent the conveyor from slowing you down. So remember, we have to hold the P-switch when we go through the door or else the P-switch will block us from going through that door on the other end. Overall, this one was all about just finding a bunch of tiny little optimizations to save a few seconds here and there because I only beat this record by just a couple of seconds. So yeah, I completely destroyed this level. Sorry, Sean. So we're gonna get the key and the Yoshi at the same time by using that block to kill that guy. But then turns out you can just kind of jump in the door and just get it. Oops! I broke it. I broke it real good. Oh my god. All right, so what you're supposed to do, if you remember, is like you're supposed to like send the Yoshi over to the side and make the POW block fall on it and do all this stupid shit with a bomb and then make the little like spring POW block platform below the door to go into the door. Screw all that. So the way that this one works is that basically if you get the perfect angle, and this thing took me hundreds of tries to just get it once, and even with the reason that I didn't get it on the first try was because even after practicing it for a long time, the best I could ever do is get it like 1 out of 20 tries. But basically what happens is if you get the perfect angle, Yoshi and Mario can actually just stand on the wall for just one brief instant, which is enough time to go through the door. But you have to jump with just the perfect angle in order to be able to get into it like that. This is actually something that happens in every Mario game. I don't know why Nintendo has not fixed it, but like all the original Mario games, you can do this too. And it's actually the basis of the wall jump. So for that brief instant when Mario is able to like kind of stand on the wall, you can also do a wall jump. You can do a wall jump or you can go into a door, which is really cool. So it's actually kind of nice that it's like almost like a throwback to the old Mario games to some extent, that this even still exists. But yeah, could have also done a wall jump, can also go through the door. I'm sorry, Sean Hip, I broke it. And the thing is previously I always thought you had to be able to get a speed boost in order to get like enough speed to clip far enough into the wall in order to be able to stand on it. So like I have a level where you do this, but you like run off of a conveyor that gives Mario a lot of speed first. You can also do it if you like have star power because the star makes you run really fast. I never realized that you could do it without any speed increase at all. It's just a lot harder to do. So overall, this ended up being 20 seconds faster than the world record. Whoopsies! Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, where am I going? Oh, I just wall jumped! What the fuck? What the fuck? Well, we good. That cheese tastes so good. So yeah, I actually spent a ton of time, several hours, just pulling my hair out, trying to figure out how to improve the time on this one. And that is when I figured out you can actually get through this entire section with just a P-switch. Check this out. You jump mid-air, land on the P-switch, and the POW falls right into your hands. You can't do that unless you come from the bottom though, or else you don't get enough speed to get over there to grab the POW fast enough. So at this point, I have to wait for the P-switch timer to wear off. That's why I'm not really doing anything. So once the P-switch timer wears off, we do that same trick from the auto-scroll puzzle, where the POW wave is used to destroy one of the coins, but not both of the coins. So this allows us to drop the coin with the POW that's above the spring, but still use the coin in the top right as a turn block, which is needed to push the spring to the side so that it's able to push the coin onto the note block to get the key. So then as soon as we get the key, we go back through the door, and now all we're trying to do is collect another P-switch so that we can do the trick again. But because we have to wait for the P-switch timer to wear off though, because the coin below the POW has to actually be a coin instead of a turn block in order for it to eject the POW off the side so that you can grab it. So we use this trick twice and pretty much destroy the entire level. We don't even use the bomb to blow up the muncher in the bottom left, or get a POW another time to go through there to get the mushroom. We don't need to do any of that bullshit. So this one got completely cheese. Oh my god, I was so happy when I figured this one out. This one was this one was good. This one was really good. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. If Sean deletes this level and re-uploads it without the cheese, I'm gonna mutiny. There must have been some other cheese in this level though, because I only beat the previous world record by 7 seconds. And I wasn't getting even within 10 seconds of it doing the regular strategy. So there must be another strategy to cheese this, but mine was faster. I'm not gonna lie, I almost gave up on this world record. So for the longest time, I could not figure out what the strategy was to even be able to possibly get a low enough time to get the world record on this. Turns out it all had to do with a trick to escape the one-way gates. So the premise of the level is that you have to be Big Mario in order to get through these one-way gates. So that's why we start off by getting the mushroom. When you have the mushroom, you can walk through those one-way gates to get the key. Now this room right here is where the magic happens. Normally you go in ducking, but you come out standing up, and then you get hit by the bomb. So you get the bomb, but then you have to go get another helmet, which is too slow to get this world record. It turns out it's actually possible to duck and jump right when you come out and get through the one-way and grab the bomb without losing your helmet. But even once I figured that out, there are so many ways that it could go wrong. If you don't jump at exactly the right time, you get trapped and you can't get out. And this happened over and over and over and over and over and over again. And even if you do get the jump, sometimes you still got hit even though you were ducking. So there was just this extremely tight window to be able to get out and get the bomb. But then even if you do get out and get the bomb, then you had to grab the bomb extremely quickly too. And if the bomb goes the wrong way, it wasn't fast enough to go through the door. I found pretty much every way in this entire level to fuck it up. So this was one of my god runs that got to the very end, and then I accidentally got hit by the bomb at the very end, and then it's all over. Even once I was able to get the bomb without getting hit, I was 3 seconds away from the world record. And then I was 2 seconds away from getting the world record. And then 1 second away. And then 0.3 seconds away. So back to the run, you get the weird duck jump to escape the one-way and kick the bomb just in the right direction. So we have to destroy this block in order to take the donut down into the door at the very end. Then we immediately put on the helmet again and go back to do it again, except this time the bomb has to go up and to the right because we're going to take it through the other door this time. This is to blow the block up at the left side of the level, which allows us to actually go in and out of that top left door, which is the only way to eventually beat the level. So we put on one final helmet because we need the helmet in order to move these munchers. We go through this door, retaining Big Mario to come out and pass through those one-ways. As soon as the bomb explodes, gotta run past them. If you actually hold into the wall while falling on a donut block, the donut block will fall even faster, which is an interesting tip that I learned. And after spending way too goddamn long on this level, I saved, guess how much time? 0.016 seconds. That's 1 frame of a 60 frames per second game, 1/60th of a second. Get in there! Never give up! Warwicker! This puzzle slowly drove me mad. We start off by hitting this block to release the bomb, and then I want to get the bomb and get out of there as quickly as possible. So we have to go to the next room and come back because there's not enough time before the bomb timer wears out for those turn blocks to turn back, and you can't destroy turn blocks with a bomb unless they're not turning anymore. We had to destroy those turn blocks because that allows the shell to fall down, and then when we hit the shell from the bottom, we can get the shell. So we're going to put the shell on our head and go back to the next room in order to reset the shell once again. So every time you go through a door and come back, everything on it respawns as long as you're not carrying it, but if it's on your head, it doesn't count as carrying it for some reason, so you can get an extra shell. Using the extra shell, we can spin jump off it to get 1 block extra of height in order to get up there, and then throw the shell to collect the red coins. This is probably the weirdest setup that I came up with, so you can like sneak through there with the spring really quickly before the donut block respawns. That allows you to get everything without having to sit on the donut twice. So then I'm going to kick everything into position and go up here to try to do that same trick again right here where we let the donuts fall and then quickly run over here and even wait for that one. Still is barely enough time to get through there. Not having to wait for all those donut blocks to fall is where I save most of the time this level, though there is some delicious cheese at the end. So the final red coin that we need to get, and try to kick the spring into position, and when you're ducking and jump through this, for some reason it lets you pass through the saw, even though you have the helmet on, because normally the helmet will bounce you back. And finally, whoopsies! Who needs that POW block to stand on when you've got a handy dandy spring? An interesting thing about using springs to go through doors is it only works while you're in the air. If you put the spring on the ground and then try to go in a door that's just 1 block above the ground, like right above the spring, it doesn't work. So then we have this crazy double checkpoint ending thing going on here, which pretty much works because the top of a checkpoint you can still activate, but when you spawn in, you spawn into the bottom of the checkpoint, so you can use it to essentially pass through a 1 tile thick wall. Overall, I ended up saving 7 seconds, largely because of the spring trick at the end, but also those donut block optimizations. I spent a total of 5 hours trying to get that world record.
World record.
We start off by making a beeline for the P-switch, which will turn the turn block in the bottom right into a coin, and then when we hit the POW block, that coin will fling up to the top of the screen because magic or something. We can then use that time while the coin is traveling in order to blow up the block with the bomb. To do the next part of the level, we need to get the P-switch, so we have to throw the spring under it twice in order to get it trapped bouncing up and down, because you can't grab a P-switch from below, it blocks you. Then we're going to throw these items into position. Getting that lineup is one of the harder parts of this level. Same thing with this too. I got this like crazy setup to just magically make everything line up and get through the door. The spring allows us to move the munchers. I actually figured you can move them both at the same time. We now have access to the helmet, which allows us to break all of these blocks. So I'm going to break these 2 blocks right here because we need to break them later, even though we don't need them at the moment. And then finally we need to get through this door carrying the spring. It's actually kind of tricky to do that item swap right there. So I toss the spring onto the conveyor and then putting the POW block down on the conveyor and doing a jump at the top at the same time allows the key to get flung up to the top, and I lower the blue platform so that I already have a path to get out to get back to this door. For the final part of the level, we need the P-switch one more time because the P-switch is going to let us go backwards through that door. I didn't figure this out while I was playing, but if you go through that one instead, it also makes the Galoomba walk to the left. When the Galoomba walks to the left like that, he's going to actually slowly go across the bottom of the screen. But I'm going to set up the items over here, lower that platform already so that the Galoomba is right there waiting for me. Got the items in place and can finally beat the level. A lot of really fun planning in this one, just mapping out all the different possible routes that you could take and seeing which one was faster. It was really fun for this level. It all came together really nicely at the end too. Overall, I ended up beating this record by 9 seconds. So this was the only level that I didn't spend all freaking day on, and that's just because it was full of delicious, delicious cheese. So the cheese happens right at the start of the level. We're going to set the POW block down and then the P-switch down in position, and then we do the cheese! So what just happened right there? So first you have to know that a POW block will destroy all enemies that are touching the ground, but not enemies that are in the air. Also, the POW block won't destroy anything that's off screen. So the key here is that we're able to activate the POW block, destroying several munchers that are going to let us get through, but not destroy either the coins underneath the bomb or the bomb itself, because both of those are necessary later on in the level. So I scroll the screen to the right because it protects those coins and the bomb. But I want to activate the P-switch because I do want certain turn blocks to turn into coins that will then get destroyed by the POW block, and then they'll be gone for the whole level. Alright, so the second part of the cheese strat is to get another POW block and then use the POW block to POW jump up here. Normally you would throw the P-switch up there to hit the vine block, and then the vine would come down and you would take that up, but since we used the P-switch, we didn't have that opportunity. So I'm just messing around here until the vine gets here, but there's a little time save here. I can actually jump ahead of the vine to go up there really quickly in order to climb the vine a little bit quicker. And I'm also going to do small little jumps here and there in order to climb the vines quicker, because it's easier to jump or fall than it is to climb the vines. So same thing here, I'm going to just fall down right there and then go into the key door. So the next goal of the level is to destroy all of the blocks that are preventing Mario from getting through different areas. So we put the POW block there, then hit the P-switch. This allows the bomb to walk down there and for us to grab it. I'm going to kick the bomb over to the right because it's going to blow up the block that's preventing us from getting the key. Now for this part, I have to wait for the P-switch timer to wear off before going back through the door, or else the spring will spawn and prevent the bomb from being able to come down here. There's actually a spring underneath the turn block that Sean had kind of overlapped, but if the turn block spawn, then the spring won't. So then we're going to kick the bomb up here to destroy these 2 blocks, re-grab the POW block, and go back through the door. Once again, I have to wait for the P-switch timer to wear off before going back through the door. And then we're going to re-grab the bomb one last time. This is to destroy the block that's by the P-switch door in the top right, which we need in order to access the key. So we got to wait for the bomb to blow up the block, but this time we don't have to wait for the P-switch to activate again because we don't need the bomb anymore. So I'm going to get a POW, hit the P-switch to refresh the P-switch timer, and then carry the POW with me through this door because the POW is going to let us kill these munchers to get to the key. So now that we've got the key, we're just about done. All we have to do is clear the munchers at the end by using a POW block and then get to the right area. So we're going to use the POW block to get rid of the munchers. We're going to go up here and we have to hit this vine one last time because the vine is the only way to get carried to the key door. So then I'm going to use one last POW block and then the vine is going to carry me through. I spaghettied the very end and I couldn't get through the door for just a split second there, but then that is it. This level was pretty crazy how long it was. This was one of the longest world records that I've done in a long time. Because it's so much longer, it gets really intense towards the end, just because you've invested so much more time in the level. I ended up saving 3 seconds on this one.
The cheese is real.
So the first goal is to go through the P-switch door. And we have to go through the regular door first though, because using the P-switch removes the platform underneath the P-switch door to stand on. This then lets us pick up the POW block. However, it doesn't really matter how fast we are at this point because we have to wait for the P-switch timer to run out before we use the POW block to go through this door. If we don't wait for the P-switch timer to run out, then there's a turn block at the top of the screen that will prevent the Koopa from spawning. We're going to try to kick the Koopa as quickly as we can to get the bomb. The bomb is going to come out of a question mark block off screen and then slowly walk back towards us. We need the bomb because it's the only way for us to blow up this stone block that's blocking our way to the exit door. The reason I hit the P-switch there is we're going to then hit the POW block, and if we hadn't hit the POW block, then the POW block would have destroyed the coins on screen because POW blocks destroy all coins on screen, and that's very important for this next part here. So here comes the tricky part. So we're going to use the POW block and then quickly go through the door while the wave of the POW block has not yet destroyed both coins. Even though a POW block will destroy all the coins on a screen, it doesn't happen at the same time. There's actually a wave that emanates out from the POW block, and once it crosses a coin, it destroys that particular coin. So it's actually possible to use the POW block to destroy one of the coins above the door at the end, but not the one below the door, which we need to stand on later. Now when we hit the P-switch, that bottom coin becomes a platform, and we can use that platform to get through at the very end of the level. I've actually known about this for a long time, and I was considering making my own puzzle that required using this trick, but I figured it was too hard, so I've never really gotten around to it yet. I don't think the previous world record holder knew about this strat because I saved a total of around 6 seconds off of their time. We start off this level doing a quick jump over the conveyor to stop it from slowing you down for just a tiny second. Then we're going to jump up here and go to the right because this scrolls the screen off so that the fish at the beginning can respawn. So we have to wait a second here until the fish leaps up and lights the bomb. I have to wait for just a second on this platform or else the muncher is going to fall down onto the P-switch and activate it too soon, and I won't be able to do everything I need to do before the P-switch timer runs up. So I have to kind of push Yoshi outside of this gap and then get in the P-switch door. I'm going to immediately go right back out of that door because it respawns the P-switch, which lets me go back through the door now with the P-switch. I need the P-switch because it allows me to raise the spring up by a little bit, which is enough height to jump up and grab this coin. If we don't grab that coin, when the P-switch runs out, it's going to turn back into a block, and that block is going to prevent the bomb that I just spit the fish at from ever spawning. For this last part, I'm going to quickly spit the spring, get a running jump to grab the POW, and then use the POW as the platform to get up the top. You have to do a crouching jump or that won't work. And it's kind of unfortunate that the ghost hit me once there, but I don't think there's any way to do that faster without the ghost hitting you. He's just always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Overall, I only ended up saving 0.2 seconds off of the previous world record. Yatta! So this was actually one of the hardest world records I've had to get in a long time. It took me over 3 hours to get this one. The previous world record was really highly optimized, so everything that I did had to be really precise in order to save any time. So I'm going to do a quick jump on the conveyor here. That saves just a little bit of time of the conveyor bouncing back at you. And then I got a boost from the conveyor to gain a little bit of extra speed in the opposite direction right there. Here I have a little bit of waiting time, but I need to go through this door as soon as the bomb explodes. This next section was just tricky to get everything to line up, so I'm going to throw the P-switch, which knocks it back at me, throw the P-switch, release the vine, but then I have to drop the P-switch back on the conveyor on my way back, so that the mushroom and the P-switch are already in position for me to pick them up and go in the door. I had some fun with the P-switch here because it doesn't actually matter how quickly you hit it, as long as you hit it before the mushroom reaches the conveyor. And we're waiting for the mushroom here to collect the key, and as soon as it gets the key, gotta go through the door. This last part, I figured out you just collect the mushroom instantly and duck slide through there. I messed a lot of runs up right at the end there, and then it's just a matter of grabbing the vine and getting to the door as soon as you can. But you gotta do the jumps here at the end really quickly too, and that is it. So I only saved a few milliseconds over the world record with this run, and it took 3 hours just to get those couple of milliseconds. I actually really enjoy speedruns like this though, that are just like really precise optimization. It can be very rewarding when you finally get that perfect run. Right off the bat in this one, I need to get Mario along the bottom, but I actually want to leave the POW block there for later. I'm going to really quickly spin jump to try to break these blocks and grab the spring out of there. And then I got to do a turnaround there to try to get the spring to land in the right spot and blow up those guys. That whole sequence of events was probably the hardest part of this level, though there was a really tricky part coming up here. So we are just waiting for the bomb to walk. The next big place to save time was to just throw the spring as soon as possible right there, just to try to eke out a few little milliseconds. So once the bomb walks across the top and blows up, it's going to release the second bomb. And getting this guy to turn around right then as quickly as possible was also really tricky. I think that's what ended up letting me beat the record. I actually kept tying the world record over and over and over again on this one because that little block moving back and forth at the end, if you get there a little bit faster, it doesn't matter. You still have to wait for the block to crush it. So in order to actually save any time, you have to catch the block on a completely earlier cycle, which means that you have to save quite a lot of time just to save any time at all. But I eventually did manage to pull it off. Ended up beating the record by just over 1 second. This is another puzzle that was just really hard to figure out the best order to do everything in because there's so many different things you have to do. So we're going to go through the door holding the Goomba because then the Goomba won't spawn in that stack of enemies and the next in the stack will come through instead. The shell lets us break this turn block and get the P-switch. I'm actually going to activate the P-switch and collect the turn block's coin because then I won't need to collect the shell every time I want to activate the P-switch. Besides blowing up the stone block to get the POW, I'm also going to collect both of those coins. That's imperative later. So then we're going to hit the P-switch one more time and take the shell through the door in order to blow up the POW block and get to the P-switch door. Going in and out of the P-switch doors lets me get the POW block, which I can use to get into the door to the right to get the spring. So this part, I'm actually going to go back and forth here. This is to allow 2 different enemies to spawn, both the Goomba and the shell at the same time. So then I'm going to create a stack underneath this door and use both of these enemies, one to get up and then the other to bring through the door in order to kill the large Goomba on the inside to get the spring. Now that we have the spring, we can get in the final key door to beat the level. So this is the muncher I was saying before. If we didn't hit that coin previously, that muncher would not be able to go on top of the screen like that, and you would be unable to get the POW block like this. And we need to use the POW block as a platform to ride into the door. We also need to bring the shell though, not the Goomba at the end, in order to hit the final POW block at the very end here. So when we go through this door, we throw the shell, and that's going to break the POW block, allowing us to get to the axe. I had a lot of fun with them. This is another one of those puzzles where I feel like when you see the whole thing in action, you really see how creative Sean Hipp is as a level designer, using all of these items multiple times and in different ways. I beat the record for this one by a whole 10 seconds. We start this puzzle off by hitting that POW block, and that causes the coin that's bouncing up and down on that music block to release the beetle. And then we hit the spring so the beetle gets knocked over there. You can tell I was going a little bit crazy playing this level over and over again because you have to wait every single time for this stupid beetle to go on its little journey around the thing. So it took a long time just to get to the part that was actually a little bit more difficult. But I did what I could to keep myself amused. So we want to grab this P-switch as soon as we can and go in the door. And then we're going to use the P-switch to drop it down here to turn the beetle around. If you notice, I actually do a little bit of a jump when I drop the P-switch, and that causes the P-switch to go out a little bit further. That actually made the next part a lot more consistent, because sometimes when you hit the big Koopa shell, it goes over the P-switch. So we're gonna have to get this thing first, and then I have to wait. The reason I'm waiting right here is because I have to wait for the beetle to hit the P-switch, turn around, and come back before I hit the P-switch. So right as the beetle wakes up, I try to time it so that the big Koopa shell hits the P-switch, but any before, and the little beetle would walk off the edge to the right. That was the biggest time saver in this level, just lining that up as close as possible. I was actually extremely confused when I went back to do the world record for this because I didn't realize that the little beetle was actually walking into the P-switch in order to come back. If that P-switch isn't still there, he just walks off the screen to the left and you never see him again. I ended up beating this record by 1 second.
World record.
This puzzle is very confusing just to freaking keep track of everything because you have to backtrack and go through the door so many freaking times. For the first time save, just going through this door as soon as possible after the bomb explodes. Remember, you're blowing up that block because underneath it is a POW block that won't actually spawn until you blow up the block underneath it. When we take the POW block through the door, then it allows a muncher that was underneath the POW block to spawn, and that muncher is attached to this beetle. So when you throw the POW block, it releases the beetle, and you can go through the door. Only thing we really need in this door is the P-switch, and that's because when you bring the P-switch through the door, there's actually a launcher that shoots Yoshi that was underneath the P-switch. So we're going to activate the P-switch in order to turn all of the turn blocks into coins, and then fire the POW block to destroy them. This is to allow stuff to spawn later that was being blocked by those, like the spring and the bomb. This room is one of the most complicated setups, so I had to throw the spring into the correct position, and then quickly get these POWs over here. This allows us to bring the shell through the door in order to hit the question mark block with the bomb in it. So we're going to use the bomb to blow up that block, which has a shell hiding underneath, but also sneak in there and grab the fireball as well. That was probably one of the hardest individual moves here. I'm just waiting for the bomb to blow up. We had to blow that up in order to get through the question mark block door at the very end. So then we're going to put on the helmet, use that POW block, which I never saw when I was first playing this level, to get through the freaking door. And then finally get everything set up here to go through the P-switch door. And again, this was just a juggle fest. I went a little bit slow there because I almost forgot what to do at the very end. So there's probably an extra second you could get out of that at the very end there. I actually jump off of Yoshi at the very end in order to hit the gold tape as soon as possible. I ended up beating this record by only a few milliseconds. So whoever had this record previously probably used the exact same strat as me. I just did slightly faster. Biggest time saver for this comes right here, right at the beginning. So I actually figured out a way to hit the POW block and keep the bomb alive at the same time. This was really important because every other time I go to that POW block, like right now, I have to keep the POW block or use it for something. So figuring out a way to combine both of those steps saved a couple of seconds, and I think it was the biggest time save. So when I grab the shell, I have to be very careful because the little guy inside is going to come back alive. So that's why I throw the shell up right there. Because every time Mario releases the shell and re-grabs it, it resets the timer before the little guy comes out again. Multiple times through this run, you have to wait for this stupid donut block, and it's like the most tense thing in the world because if you jump too soon you miss it, but you don't want to waste too much time jumping too late. So getting both the P-switch and the POW block out of here was the hardest part when I was originally doing the puzzle, but for the world record run I figured out a weird way to actually just throw them both up instantly. You have to manipulate a lot of different objects and go back and forth between juggling them and picking them up and all that. So figuring out ways to consistently do that was the most challenging part of this puzzle, I would say. So we had to go back through this level a second time in order to be able to keep the final POW block with us, because remember, if you don't have that POW block in Yoshi's mouth when you go through the door at the end, it will block you from going through the door. Even though you'll be right on top of the axe, you won't get to come in. But this part was kind of an annoying clusterfuck. I think the biggest time loss I had was just trying to get all of the items set up and just get on top of that P-switch right there. But fortunately, it only trolled me once though. And then the last part here, I had to put the POW block down here in order to position the P-switch first. And then we used the P-switch as a platform to carry the POW block through the end to victory. This was a really fun puzzle to do. It was interesting trying to come up with all the different placements of all the items to try to get them to cooperate with you. Sometimes it was frustrating though, but I always figured something out eventually. I ended up beating this record by about 5 seconds. I think probably because the previous world record holder didn't realize that you could both hit the POW block and keep the bomb and do that at the same step at the very beginning. This record was kind of funny. I ended up doing like a stupid strat for like an hour straight, and I like couldn't beat the record, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting like the perfect runs and I just can't do it. And then I realized I was making a completely extra trip that I never needed to make. So you can actually get the key and get the spring with you at the same time if you do everything in the right order at the beginning here. So you do have to destroy the shell in order to get the key. That's why I spin jump off of it, but you can also bring the spring with you as well. So then we're going to blow up the block at the top here. That you need to do that in order to get the POW block at the end. And then you also have to re-bring the shell with you, mainly as a way to just carry the spring through the door with you, because you need that spring in order to get back into the door with the bomb. And then once you have that bomb, that's basically it. The bomb takes care of the last 2 little blocks there. That allows the muncher to activate the P-switch, which knocks up the POW, and the POW lets you get in there. So it was actually amazing how few times you had to go back through the doors to really complete this puzzle, because I think when I was trying to solve it normally, I went back through the doors like freaking 10 times or something. It didn't need to do it that many times at all. Overall, I ended up saving 3 seconds on this record. This level was one of the more execution heavy of the world records for this batch of levels. So the first thing we're going to do is just try to get that bomb as quickly as possible and then activate the P-switch. The reason I go for the P-switch first is then it automatically makes the bomb fall down so that you can keep re-grabbing the bomb to collect the other red coins as quickly as possible. I also try to double up whenever I can, so it's possible to get that top red coin and then blow up the block in the same round. And then for this next part, we have to hit the P-switch again. And I timed it out, and it was faster to do it this way rather than just wait to only hit the P-switch at the end here, just because you can grab the bomb so much faster with the P-switch. So we're going to get the final red coin and then grab the bomb one last time to take with us to the end. You have to bring that last bomb with you in order to blow up the blocks at the end. One weird problem I kept having is I kept accidentally going through the P-switch door a second time, just because I was going so fast, the P-switch was still activated. So like as I got faster and faster, I was like, wait, why am I suddenly going through this P-switch door? And then at the end, I figured out you can actually jump off of the blue platform that you would normally stand on to go through the P-switch door to get up to that goal a little bit faster, so you don't have to wait for it to come down to you, you just jump right up to it. Overall, very fun level to do the record for. I ended up beating the previous record by only 2 seconds.
World record.
This was another record where I was really happy with the route that I ended up coming up with because it just barely worked. It's always funny, sometimes you'll just be doing something and you'll be like, huh, I wonder if that could possibly work. And then it just like barely works and it just lines up perfectly. So the beginning here is basically the same, but then things start to get a little bit weird. So I'm actually just going to hit the P-switch right away, and that puts me on a timer. I need to get back there and use the POW block before the timer runs out. So I just barely have enough time to throw that POW block, and that actually launches the coin, and I just freaking get the spring to land under it right before it lands. It just barely had enough time to work. It's super cool. And then everything else is pretty much the same as the regular route after that. So, but yeah, it's always really cool when that happens. Sometimes you get these like crazy ideas and you try them out and it just totally fails. It just doesn't line up. Like no matter how fast you are, it just doesn't seem like it's possible. So it's always really cool when you try something like that and it actually ends up working out. Overall, I ended up saving 7 seconds off of this world record. So right off the bat, things get a little bit tricky for world record strats. I figured out you can spawn both Koopas that you need, one right after the other at the very beginning, and then just let them slowly march over right behind each other. So the first Koopa is going to jump up there and activate the bomb. By the way, I'm standing to the right so I don't spawn another Koopa until I want to. So then I went to the left to spawn a new Koopa. So the first one lets the bomb down. The second one actually just knocks the first one back over, just so he comes over there to use as a platform, I know, I'm sorry Koopa, as quickly as possible. So the next part of this is mostly just maneuvering in tight spaces as quickly as possible. I do a backwards tongue to accelerate a little bit more with Yoshi. You could have optimized the donut block falling a little bit better there, but yeah, I use those backward tongues because they make Yoshi run faster. It was completely lucky that the Podoboo timing just like perfectly matched up with me right there. It's actually possible to do that any part a little bit faster, but it doesn't really matter since you have to wait for the bomb to explode anyway before to lower the launcher to let you out of there. So anyway, another very fun record. It's really a lot of fun to try to come up with the fastest route to get through these. It's almost like a puzzle in and of itself. Overall, all that trickery at the beginning with the two Koopas saved me over 10 seconds off the previous record. This was a pretty simple but fun world record. It was mostly just about optimizing movement. So we're going to run as quickly as we can to the side of the screen and use the POW block to destroy the munchers at the top. We're going to do this backwards tongue with Yoshi to make him accelerate just a little bit faster, and then get the P-switch up at the top for later. I couldn't find a way to spit out the Yoshi egg any sooner than that, but I feel like it doesn't really matter anyway, because for all of this, what you're really waiting on is the Yoshi timer coming out of the pipe. So even though I'm waiting for the P-switch here, it doesn't really matter because I need a new egg to spawn anyway. So until that egg spawns, there's really nothing else you can do. I ended up slowing down just a little bit here, lining up the Yoshi egg because I really didn't want to miss it. And as you can see, I barely got it as it was. It'd definitely be possible to shave another second off of this time just by spitting out that sooner, but it was so hard to get the Yoshi eggs lining up coming out of the pipe, I figured I may as well take it. Overall, very fun level to do the record for. I ended up beating the previous record by over 10 seconds, so... Discover new speed strats live. So yeah, I don't even know what happened, but this setup right here, when you put the POW block there, somehow it did something weird, and it just got everything down at the same time. I don't know how it did it, and I can't replicate it, so luckily I didn't do terribly on the rest of this run, because that saved a ton of time, and I literally don't even know how to do it again. So I managed to just like throw everything into position, and even when the coins fire out of the cannon, right as the P-switch runs out, it fired. It was perfect. It was perfect. Everything was perfect. I don't know what happened. This is the luckiest world record I've ever done. I completely crushed the record, and I don't know if I could ever do it again. So yeah, I got super lucky on that one. If anyone can figure out how that worked, let me know. Again, just to clarify, normally the POW block won't get all of the items and the bomb at the same time. I really have no idea how that happened. I thought this puzzle was going to be a lot harder than it ended up being. I found some really cool time savers. So I'm going to kick the shell across here and hit it as far left as possible. This is because when you hit the POW block, the Buzzy Beetle, if it's on screen, will die. So you have to wait for the Buzzy Beetle to walk off screen. So the further left it is, the faster it walks off screen. Also, the way that I ricocheted the shell makes the Buzzy Beetle walk to the left instead of to the right. So for this part, I need to respawn the Buzzy Beetle and then take the bomb up to the top as quickly as possible. So again, I try to bounce from very far away to do this as quickly as you can. And then for this next section, we're going to skip an entire cycle of going back through the door. So we're going to hit the POW block to kill the Muncher and then grab the P-switch. And then we've got everything that we need. As soon as the bomb goes over the conveyor, I hit the P-switch because the conveyor will stop otherwise. And then take the shell through the door. The shell is going to get us the other shell that we can wear as a helmet. You couldn't wear the other one as a helmet. And then go really quickly back in the door with the POW. We don't have to do anything again and we're done. I ended up bouncing Mario's stupid head off of the saw and lost like half a second at the very end. But it was really difficult to do this, so I left it. So if anybody wants to try to beat this record, all you gotta do is do what I did without bonking your head at the end. I ended up saving quite a lot of time on this one. I don't think those strats must have been discovered by the previous people who tried this record, so I saved about 20 seconds off of this one. Oh, yeah. I really got a bone to pick with this dry bones. Definitely the hardest part of this level was just pushing his bony ass around. Eventually I stopped being a lazy bones and decided to bone up on my POW pushing abilities, and I was able to just barely get that guy off the edge before he came back to life and boned me. For blazing this POW block, you pretty much just had to roll the bones and hope you got lucky on the first try. And the bare bones of this section is pretty much just hitting the P-switch as soon as possible, because you have to wait for the P-switch timer to run out before you can do anything else. Make no bones about it though, I had to pretty much work my fingers to the bone getting this timing to line up. Eventually though, the level decided to throw me a bone and I just barely got through in time. But you know, as the expression goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but saws will never hurt me as long as I'm Big Mario. Sorry guys, I hope those bone jokes weren't too dry for you. I ended up beating this record by about 3 seconds. So I'm pretty much a giant idiot. I literally deleted the world record video after getting it from my desktop because I accidentally named 2 different video files Tricky Puzzle. So I had to do it again. But fortunately I was able to retie my world record, if not beat it. So the annoying part at the beginning of this level was getting the POW block on the first try. If you don't get it on the first try, you're basically screwed. And then I figured out a way to pretty quickly get this setup right by bouncing the P-switch off of Mario's head. And the spring is really the only thing you need to bring over here. So you pretty much just need to set it up so that you get the bomb right when the P-switch timer runs out. And YOLO swag god! Boom! Just throw it straight at the thing. That was definitely the hardest part of this though, was just getting that to work right. And then at the end here, throwing the spring into that little gap from far away saved a good bit of time, but was pretty difficult. Finally, at the end here, you just knock the cannon up, don't even hit the P-switch, which is finicky, it didn't always work, and that lets you run all the way across the top without having to worry about setting up the POW block in a weird way like I did in the actual run or anything like that. So I managed to beat the record by 4 seconds. Millisecond record. There was basically no room for improvement in this world record, so let me tell you what I did. So you pretty much just want to get that shell going as soon as possible, and I'm actually going to lower the donut late so that I can still have the donut down to put the P-switch in it. And then you got to get the shell to go down to the next level just as fast as possible, just instantly going down to the next level. The only real way to save time is by kind of inching the shell closer. But as it turns out, at the end of the level, all of it doesn't really matter. It is possible for me to have like hit the next bomb right there just a teensy bit faster, but it wouldn't have mattered. I've tried it. I actually did 2 really good attempts past this one, and you just can't get to the goal in time. And so you have to hit it on the next pass. Now, somehow, when I jumped and like went into the wall a little bit and like grabbed that sucker, I just snaked it out from the guy who had the world record previously by just a couple of hundredths of a second. And that's it. Pong Mario puzzle. I broke it. I totally broke it. Alright, so we're going to do the trick to clip into the one-way, and then we're not going to actually collect those coins yet. If you're fast enough, you can just do the next part and then collect the coins on the way back. So for this part, it doesn't even matter that I missed going through the one-way once, because I'm waiting for that platform to push up the launcher anyway, and so it's the exact same thing here. Even though I missed it once there, there's no point in restarting. It wouldn't be any faster, because you have to wait for that anyway. And guess what? Guess what? That's the whole thing. I broke it, Sean. I totally broke it. So the way that works is, for some reason, normally that cannon pushes Mario out, and you can't do it unless you're Big Mario. For some reason, if you hold left, it gives you just this tiny little window to still jump up through the cannon, and it just works, and it skips half the level. Oops. I ended up beating the world record by like over a minute. Pain in the world record. Honestly, the hardest part of this level was just figuring out what the fuck order to do everything in, because there's so many things you have to do. I figured out a way to knock down the bomb without actually having to wait for that donut block. You basically just touch Mario's little toe onto the blue platform and then get out of there. So then we're gonna hit the P-switch, grab the coins so we can get through there later, and then quickly get in the door. We had to hit the P-switch in order for the Spiny to be able to walk across those turn blocks to land on the question mark block to be able to knock him upside down. So then we're gonna use the Spiny to collect that coin, because that coin blocks the P-switch from spawning. If you don't do that, it won't respawn. We're gonna hit the P-switch one more time to make another P-switch spawn, but also to make the POW block fall down, since we're gonna need the POW block later. So we're gonna put the shell here for safekeeping while we get the rest of the items, and then we're gonna put this particular P-switch in the corner first, because this is the one that is going to actually respawn. The other one is a single use only. It will not respawn. So then we're gonna get all these little items in position. It's a bit tricky to figure out the best way to do that, and then get the bomb one more time. This bomb is to destroy the turn block that prevents the POW from falling down. So if we don't blow up that turn block at the very end, the POW won't fall. We're gonna do a quick item swap. That was actually the hardest part of the level, was just getting that freaking item swap down, and then complete the level. So we have to activate the flame. The flame's gonna ignite the bomb, and then just before the bomb blows up, we're gonna get back in there to jump in the door. The shell is used to hit the POW block, and that lets us do it. So this was a super fun one. I ended up beating the record by about 8 seconds, I think, on this one. I really love how creative Sean's levels are. I love how he's able to just pack so many different things into just one screen. It's really cool. Awesome level. Yeah. This fucking level. In order to beat the record for this one, I ended up having to come up with a completely different strat, because I don't know what the guy who had the record previously was doing, but whatever I was doing was not beating it. So the beginning is pretty much the same. You have to collect the coins at the bottom, come back up, and wait for the P-switch to expire before you can get the shell. So no matter how fast you do it, it doesn't really matter. Then you need to activate the bomb, and then activate the Podobo to light the bomb. For this part of the level, you pretty much have to wait for the mushroom, but I figured out if you hit the spring up, right when the mushroom comes underneath, the very first spring will knock the mushroom all the way up. Just tried to hit that bomb as soon as possible. And for this part, strangely, the hardest part was just getting on top of the P-switch without getting the donut block. I tried to skip the donut block completely. So this is all pretty much normal so far. But as soon as we get the Yoshi, then things start to get a little bit weirder. So we have to go back in the door to get the flame, shoot the flame at the bomb on the far right side of the screen. And here's the new strat I found. So rather than taking Yoshi like all the way up through the level, you can actually push Yoshi along the bottom here. And it's way, way, way faster. I got stuck here for just a second, so if anybody wants to try to beat it, they could definitely shave off a little bit of time right there. And that is the claustrophobic puzzle. The previous world record was a 1:28, so I ended up shaving just about 7 seconds off of it. Well, Ricky! So the end of this level ended up being a giant spaghetti fest, which we'll get to in a minute. So the first difficult part of this level was just grabbing the P-switch, of course. You gotta grab it super fast, and if you run into the spikes, then that's the end. So for this part, you have to wait a little bit because you have to wait for the P-switch timer to run out in order to be able to actually stand down there. And you gotta wait for the bomb anyway. So I'm gonna do something a little bit weird here. I'm gonna run backwards, and that's actually on purpose to spawn the spring in the top left corner of the screen. It actually spawns and then despawns so that it automatically respawns right then. And if you don't do that, you have to wait for the spring. So this part is just hard, just juggling everything over there and then just getting up there as quickly as possible. I figured out a strat at the end here also to touch the goal tape a little bit faster than if you were just to wait at the top. You can actually grab it from the side like that. So for this level, I had so many hilarious mess ups and made a little bit of a blooper reel at the end too. But yeah, I ended up beating it by 4 seconds. Enjoy my failures. So we ended up changing things up just a little bit here. So actually you don't have to be ducking to get the egg, you just have to be up against the wall. And then we're going to spit the flame out to kill those 2 bombs. Something worth mentioning is I'm going to have to go back and forth between the Yoshis a good bit here. And that's because you can't take the Yoshi that comes from the little egg through the door, or the little egg won't respawn again. So I have to get back on the other Yoshi and go through the door. But we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. In this round, since the bombs aren't there, we're never going to get off of that initial Yoshi. And this saves quite a bit of time, and it's how I ended up getting the world record. So see, now we don't have to do any Yoshi transferring. And if you didn't catch it the first time, we're doing this trick to get on top of this piranha, and that's how I don't have to switch Yoshis to make it, because normally you have to jump off of the Yoshi to get up there. So that saved tons and tons of time. So then we're going to do it one more time to get the feather at the end here. And by the way, that trick was super hard. There's hardly any room to get on top of that stupid piranha. So now we're going to grab the feather, take off, and finish the level. The hardest part of this is definitely grabbing the spring, actually. And I actually could have saved just a teensy bit of time at the very end. If I had simply walked to the left of the cloud, I would have hit the goal tape just a little bit faster. Ended up saving over 10 seconds on this world record using those strats.
World record.
So this one involves a lot of backtracking. You have to go get this P-switch numerous times throughout the run. The first time is just so you can use the POW block. So I'm going to use the P-switch to go in the door, but then I'm going to use the POW block, and that's all to just destroy that one little coin that hopefully I'll have a little thing pointing out. So then we have to get the P-switch again. And we're getting the P-switch again, so this time we're going to take the POW through the door and then go back through the door. This allows you to get the spiny, because normally he walks the other direction unless the POW block is in your hands, which stops it from blocking him. So then this is the hardest trick, was just getting through that really fast on one try. And that blows up the block at the end that's preventing you from getting to the axe. So then we have to take the P-switch again, through the door again, barely got through that door, and do the same thing again to get the spiny one last time. And this spiny will be used to actually go across the spikes at the top. So this was kind of an intense moment because, you know, you've got the, kind of like the last level, you've got everything good, you know that it's a good run, and you just have to not fuck it up at the end. I think the biggest way to save time in this level would be to get off the spiny just a little faster than I did. I think I could have gotten off 1 bounce faster. So if anyone wants to try to beat this record, this one is probably one of the more beatable ones that I've done lately. But it was enough to beat the record by about 1 second. So this level was quite the interesting speed run. By far the hardest part of this level was just getting the stupid Koopa to cooperate in the beginning. So this part right here, you gotta get him to walk off onto the POW block. And man, sometimes he just takes 5-10 times in order to come off. So I ended up resetting just for ages doing that. Also, this setup was actually the hardest part for me to come up with, just getting all that stuff in position and being able to just go immediately without waiting. I tried like 5 different setups, and that was the only one that really worked. This part too was a little bit difficult because you have to cut this really close or else the bomb lands on you. So yeah, gotta get that on the first try. This part is super tense because you have to sit there and wait for the P-switch timer. Like I knew that this was the run, this was it. I just needed to not fuck it up. Look at how close I am to landing on the spikes. I would have just like quit for a while if I landed on those spikes. Anyway, it was a very fun level. I ended up beating the previous world record by about 8 seconds. It was a 1 minute and 5 second time. I actually ended up beating it twice. I had another run, but I wanted to improve it even more. So I'm glad I finally got the run. This is another world record that pretty much came down to raw optimization. So I just want to get as fast as possible here to get to that shell to hit him. And as soon as he gets inside the new shell, you want to put him down immediately because that starts the timer for when he's going to get up and start walking. So I placed the red shell there because you'll see that's where I'm going to eject the Koopa in a second here. And you've got a little bit of free time here while the green Koopa walks over there. And then you're going to hit him out right next to the red shell. So you have just one shot to kick the red shell up there as quickly as possible. And then again, you have a little bit of downtime while the Koopa comes out. So we put the POW block there for running into the door later. We no longer need the green shell. And then the last parts of this level, we're just bouncing on the P-switch as quickly as possible and then grabbing the bomb as quickly as possible. Finally, at the end, you have to cut the bomb explosion as close as possible. The bomb actually can kill you for a little bit of time after it explodes. I actually died a couple of times jumping right into the bomb blast at the very end. And all that to only save half of a second. So this level was crazy to try to get the world record for. When I first started doing it, I just tried doing the same strat that I had originally used just to beat the level. And no matter how much I optimized everything, no matter how fast I went, the best that I could do after 2 hours of attempts was just tie the previous record. Because the way that the level ends, you have to wait for the goal tape to go up and hit Mario. So even if you get there faster, you still have to wait for the goal tape. So I realized if I was going to get this world record, I was going to have to come up with a completely new way to beat this level. So here's what I ended up doing. You still have to immediately hit the bomb to the right, or else you're not going to be able to blow up that block. But then we're going to push the piranha just twice, rather than pushing him all the way across the side. Then we're going to do this next part by completing 2 things at once. So we're going to send the skull platform and also kill the muncher at the same time. So that we free the swamp so that he can destroy the cloud. And while the piranha is in the air, we release the P-switch and clear the munchers out so we can clear the end of the level. So here's the new part, and this took me about an hour and a half just to do once. You can actually make it all the way over there without pushing the piranha all the way across. And this strat, not only did it beat the world record, but it just completely blew it away. So I managed to beat this one by 12 seconds. So the world record for this one was a little bit tricky, even though the level's kind of slow-paced. I tried to hit the bomb as soon as possible just to get the timer ticking, since that's going to make it explode as soon as possible to let you through there. And then this part was actually one of the hardest parts of the level, just getting under the freaking spring, man. So if you just hit it once, you can just barely squeak under it, but it's pretty difficult. And then next, the next hardest part is after you get hit here, you have to get hit in order to fit through the gap at the top. You got to just get through that gap in one go. So you just got to go right into that gap. And if you miss it, you got to restart. Then it wasn't too bad until the end. But then once again at the end of the level, you got to do this trick where you knock the P-switch up at the spring. You just got to get that on the first try too. So overall, this one was pretty difficult. Even though there wasn't a whole lot going on, this one was pretty difficult. I only ended up beating the record by just a couple milliseconds. So this level was really interesting to try to get the world record for. So I wait here at the beginning because it's actually aligning one of the timers at the very end of the level. And I found that even though I could go faster than this, it didn't actually help because the timer would just never line up. So when you hit this P-switch, you have a very limited time in order to do this the super fast way, to hit all these blocks and get over here and get that turn block to turn back and push you through, boom, and then the P-switch ends instantly. So if you don't line everything up perfectly, that doesn't work. Now the problem with that, and also with the end of the level here, is there's basically only one timing that you can do to get through that. If you go any faster or any slower, it doesn't line up. And because you're waiting for the goal at the end to come up to the top, no matter how fast you get there, it doesn't even matter. So unless you can beat this time by 4 or 5 seconds, every time just exactly ties the world record. If you can think of a way to beat this time, let me know in the comments.
200,000. That's a lot of thousands.
So yeah, it is pretty strange thinking back to making my very first Mario Maker videos, because the reality is that I have never had any aspirations whatsoever of being a big YouTuber or a big streamer or anything like that at all. In fact, after doing streaming for like 4 years with Yoshi's Island and speedrunning and all that stuff, I was pretty much done. I was pretty much moving away from streaming and from playing video games in general when Mario Maker came out. I bought the game pretty much completely on a whim because I had been watching a bunch of my streamer friends play it, and I used to really be into ROM hacks and that kind of stuff. So I figured, hey, what the heck? This is like Nintendo actually trying to make their own little ROM hack thing instead of just banning people for doing it, so may as well try it out. Well, needless to say, Mario Maker turned out to be a freaking fantastic game. Far better than I ever actually expected it to be. Like, so many just absolutely ridiculous and hilarious things kept happening while playing Mario Maker that I was like, you know what? I should like make a collection of all of these highlights and just put them all together somewhere. And what better place to do that than on YouTube? So like, this might sound weird, but I pretty much started making videos just for myself, not for anybody else, just because I really enjoyed rewatching and reliving all of the funny shit that happened while playing. Like, I didn't know anything about video editing. I'd basically never done it before. In fact, I may or may not have edited my original videos in Windows Movie Maker. Oh my gosh. But I actually really ended up enjoying editing videos. Actually, I find it very relaxing. Me editing videos was pretty much me just sitting there laughing my butt off at all of the stupid shit that happened while playing. And so because I enjoyed it so much, I just kind of kept doing it. And somehow here we are now, a year and a half later, with 200,000 subscribers. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea what happened. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am. I don't know what year it is. What is life? Shit's crazy. Like I guess you guys all like the videos too. This has been a really bizarre experience. Like, I'm at the freaking grocery store, and this dude is, you know, bagging my groceries, and he just like looks at me. Like, you know, you start to realize like the look. And this person looks at me and they're just like, do you post videos on YouTube? And I'm just like, sometimes, I guess. Shout outs to grocery dude if you're out there somewhere. Hi. You know, and then there's just freaking meeting James from The Odd Ones Out at Phoenix Comic Con, and it's just like, Which, if you haven't seen that video that the Odd Ones Out made, you should definitely go check that out. And in fact, I'm sure a lot of you are probably here because of that, and I'm sure that we got to 200,000 subscribers so quickly because of that as well. So huge shout outs and love to James. But yeah, so what started as me just laughing at my own stupid silliness posting videos has like now turned into something that's just way beyond what I ever imagined that it would turn into. Like, not just all of the laughs that we've all had, you know, watching the entire spaghetti buffet unfold before our eyes, playing through people's like super creative Mario Maker levels, or their like super horrifying and just absolutely terrible Mario Maker levels. But no, like, the Mario Maker community is freaking awesome. Like, it's by far the best video game community that I've ever been in. Though the speedrunning community is really awesome too, and there's a lot of overlap between them. Like, all of the different streamers that I've met, like Pooh, all the different YouTubers, like Ryukar, all the different level makers, like Sean Hip, all of the artists, and just general fans of people who enjoy Mario Maker that I see, like, in watching everybody's videos. For those of you who go on Twitch, like in their Twitch chat, all of that has just been an absolutely phenomenal experience. But even beyond Mario Maker, I've really enjoyed all of the awesome science discussions that we've had. Like, I've had people say that my videos have inspired them to get into science, which is just like, freaking awesome. Hell yeah. And I've gotten literally hundreds of just the sweetest and most touching messages from people saying that my videos helped them when they were sick or when they were feeling down. And even all of the amazingly dumb jokes and puns that we've shared. Yes, that gets its own category. Yeah, at the sake of maybe getting slightly too real here, like, this could not have come at a better time for me, because to be honest, like, despite all of this awesome shit that has happened as a result of streaming and YouTube and being in the Mario Maker community, this has actually been one of the toughest year or two for me in a long time. Without getting into too many personal details, basically I had some long-term relationships kind of crash and burn. And to be honest, doing all of this stuff has been a much needed distraction during that time. Like, the whole community, just both in Mario Maker and just on YouTube, has been incredibly positive. Like, I've said this before, but everybody gives YouTube comments a bad name, but like, the vast majority of all of the stuff that I've received from posting videos on YouTube has been overwhelmingly positive, which has been unexpected and freaking awesome. But yeah, honestly, I can't say how long I will keep streaming and posting videos on YouTube. I was never supposed to do this in the first place. And, you know, and as many of you know, my real passion is science. But I've had so many great memories doing this. I hope you all have too. So thank you all so much for making this community an awesome place worth sticking around in, pulling me away from my PhD. Like, really, if this community had not been so amazing, I definitely would not still be doing this. So thank you all so very much. Thank you. Thank you for making this awesome. And we'll probably do at least one more. You sneaky little shit, Sean. Oh my god, you are a sneaky little shit. So we're gonna hit the P-switch, and then we're just gonna use 3 of these, I think. Oh, I should have waited. Oh, will I be able to get out, or did I think I just trapped myself. I think I just trapped myself. Walked right into it. Walked right into it. We gotta wait, because the POW will destroy these coins, and these coins turn back into blocks that let me get out of here. So now we blow these up, and we can go through the bottom here. Oh, but those... I got trapped, and I walked right into it again. I walked right into it again. We're gonna go down here, get those. That's what we're gonna do. We got this now, right? There's no more ways that I can fuck this up, right? I could run into that fire. Wait a minute. I've miscalculated something. I didn't see it again. No. Oh my god, dude. Alright, I think we just have to activate all the POWs after hitting the P-switch, because we need to clear off the top area. So... just use these guys. Oh! Fucking wrecked again. Fucking wrecked again! I can't get out! Wait, right? How do I get out? Oh, I needed to get the... I got fucking wrecked again! I got wrecked again! Right, so we're gonna use the piece. We're gonna use the... I think everything was fine before. I think I was supposed to use the POW when I did, because the block would have turned back otherwise. I'm gonna do that again. Oh, fuck everything. But you might be able to get the POW and then re-damage boost through the saw there, but that would be really fast. I see, I guess the intended strat is to use the POW now. Oh god, did I just get stuck again? See, this is what happened before, I get like stuck right here. Man, I don't think I can get this. This is so lame. This is so lame. Alright, this is actually the lamest way to lose this at the very end here. But I don't think I can get this. Like... shit! Fuck! Oh, because he's trapped now. Oh, what the fuck? I got stuck on the blocks. What the hell? I got stuck in the... Dude, there was like 2 blocks in there or something. Ah, that was it, man. We had it. No. All right, so the plan is don't get stuck like an idiot in here. You can't see the bricks in here is why I got stuck. Okay. Now I can get this, right? No way, man. No, I can hit the shell to get through it. Yeah, wait. Okay, wait. This is complicated. Hold on. I think I have an idea. My idea is I can make this, right? Didn't I make this? Oh, did I not make this? Fuck! Okay. And then let's get this guy. Let's get down! Okay. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I think this should work. Yeah. Yeah! Alright. Because now we can use this to get up. With the P-switch. Oh! Yeah! 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Alright, alright. I think I just used the P-switch, and then when I use the pallet, we'll clear all the enemies and destroy the coins. Yeah, that should work. Oh! Ball sacks. Oh, no. God, not again. This feels like the same way we died to the last one. Every time I think I solved one of Sean Hibb's puzzles, I get destroyed. Alright, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna bring Yoshi and live on with my beautiful green dinosaur, guys. We've got to do it. We've got to try to save the Yoshi. Alright. Fuck, 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 fuck! Why did I do that? Maybe I should look and try to plan what I'm gonna do after that. Planning ahead. Who plans ahead? Okay. Alright. So now I got the P-switch. Wait, I didn't... Shit. Shit. Okay, well, we were so close. Fuck. Okay, so I bet you I have to switch the shell again. Like, that has to be what the puzzle is. I bet you I switched the shell again. So let's put this over here. Fuck. And now I should be good, right? I hit the P-switch, I get the bomb, I bring the bomb through the door. Oh, I have to... Ah, shit. Oh! Gotta hit that guy then. What? I didn't know that happened. Yeah, okay. Oh my... Ah, well, balls. Maybe that isn't easier, because you're like right inside that dude, if you know what I mean. Maybe I should do a spin jump on the bomb, actually. I might try that. Yeah, that was much better. Fuck! Oh, we got a helmet, so now we can get through this. I gotcha. And now we can get that spring. I bet you now we can... Oh, I fucked it up already. Shit, I fucked it up! Oh, damn it, Sean! Right here. There's the not stupid way. Alright. Oh. Fuck. Alright, we gotta get... Huh. Oh, this is... It still doesn't let us use it, though. It doesn't hit it. Fuck. So I think we still have to come out of here. I think we have to go back. Yeah, I think we have to go back. Alright, let's just do it going back. So what we're gonna do is do what we did last time. I don't know if I want to use the bomb or not, but for right now I'm just gonna do this. Oh yeah, I mean it... I think I want to do it like this. Pretty sure this will work. But how am I going to get through the munchers? That's the issue. Oh my god! That's why you need the spiny. Okay. That's why you need the spiny. Ah, damn it, Sean. Every time. Oh my god. We're gonna end up hitting that P-switch. We're gonna get the spiny now. Oh, that's so beautiful. That works so beautifully. Okay. Hit this, hit that. Win? Maybe? Maybe? Oh my god, dude. Oh god, I love you, Sean. I love you, Sean. Oh my god. Oh, that is super cool. How do I get out at the end, though? Oh, I let it hit me, right? Fucking shit, Sean! I was like, expecting it to come back. Okay, watch. I'm literally stuck and I'm dead. Because Sean is a fucking genius. I am actually still fucked. I am actually still fucked. Oh my god, how does he do this every time, man? Strat number 2. What if we just put the power block here? Maybe not quite so far. And just put the bomb on top of it. Let's try this. Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck! Fuck! Well, this should still work, just like that. That should work. Like I don't need it. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need to get the right area. This is a little bit of a complicated setup, though. But it is tricky puzzle, so. Oh my god, the spaghetti is so strong. I want to stand on top of the power block. So what's this gonna do, though? Oh, that's the P-switch. That makes sense. That's the P-switch. And I was gonna get oh my god, this is a perfect Shaun of Troll. I was gonna get stuck right here. Wait, what? What the fuck was that? That looks good, I think. Here, get ready. Get ready for the launch to end all launches. Oh man. Woo! Woo! Fucking love it. Fucking love it. Also, I got bodied, didn't I? I got bodied, didn't I? Oh, fuck you, Sean. It's gonna free the muncher, but the muncher gets stuck because Sean's a fucking troll. Oh my god. Also, I really hate you, Sean. Unless there's... Oh, I'm soft locked anyway. Oh, yeah. Surely we can't fuck this up. I'm gonna go through there, and then I'm gonna get the Yoshi, and then I'm gonna get the P-switch, and then I'm gonna go through the door? Go through the door on the P-switch? I think that's right. Let me look. I think we're just gonna have to go look. Just gonna have to go look. Alright, give me the fucking P-switch. Okay, why are these here? Why are these here? I don't trust Sean for a goddamn minute. Why were those there? There's no way that that was just for fun. Why were those there? I know exactly why those were there. I know exactly why those were there. Because if I were to go through that door... Oh my god, I avoided the trap. I see it now. I avoided the trap. I avoided the trap. I avoided the trap. Those were so suspicious. Oh my god. Okay. When I go through that door, this power block would have prevented me. You can't go through a door with a power block on the other side. So that means... How do I beat this level? So that means... I have to take this power block with me. Oh, this is so creative. I get it. I totally get it. Alright. Don't hit the P-switch. Fucking don't hit the P-switch. Okay. I get it. So now I actually have to go back on the P-switch, not the power block. Because I have to take this power block with me. Wait, that doesn't make sense. No, it does make sense, because there'll be a P-switch on the other side. I think this is actually right. Yeah, baby. I think. Oh, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Shit. Shit. I need a P-switch to be active. Shit. Shit. Always one last thing. Always one last. God damn it, Sean. God damn. I needed to eat that coin with Yoshi. It looks straight up from where Mario is, above the Goomba. That turn block was a coin very briefly when I first got on Yoshi. If I had eaten that coin with Yoshi, then on my way back, the P-switch would have fallen. I could have tongued it through the wall and gone back through. Fuck. I thought I had you, damn it! I thought I had you getting those coins! I thought I had it! When you think you've outsmarted the master, and then you realize he's the master for a reason. Alright, we gotta make this happen. So let's put this one here. I don't think the order here matters. I fucking hope the order doesn't matter or I'm boned. I need to get this one too. Let's put that one there. Would you stop? Yoshi, you're not helping Yoshi. Alright, get over here. Wait, I don't even need two POWs! I don't even need two POWs there! What the fuck am I doing? Shit. Alright, go! Do I use the POW? I don't... No! I used the wrong one! I used the wrong one! All I had to do was carry the other POW through the door, and we would have been good. That was all I had to do. And then as soon as that mushroom gets the key, we go in the door. Oh, shit. Shit. How the fuck do you do this? Did I just need to collect it? I just need to collect it. Oh, I just collected. Oh shit, that like first frame grab. Okay. Yeah. All right, we got this. Then we do this. Get this. I hate you so much, Sean. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Are you fucking kidding me? How am I supposed to get up here? I can't get up here now. So I wonder if there's an easier way to do this. I don't see how else to collect this coin though, unless I could do it with the bomb, but the bomb's gone. Here's my thought. This is gonna fail spectacularly, I'm pretty sure. Yo, it fucking worked! Oh, I don't have the key. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot to get the key! I forgot to get the key! Fuck! I'm an idiot! I forgot to get the key! So, I still need the P-switch to be active, and then we're gonna need to, do this. Alright, and then we get the key. Okay, and then we do this, and then we fucking win! Get in there! What the fuck? There's like... We don't got time. Okay, wait, where does the P-switch door go? I don't even know where it goes. Okay, it goes to the bottom of the screen here. Obviously, I need to bring a POW block with me. Okay, all right. So if I need to bring a POW block with me, then we're gonna go in here. We're gonna hit this, go through there, go through here. All right, go through here, use the POW block, get the key. Okay, I gotta get back through here before this runs out. This key's gonna let me beat the level in the end, but I still don't get even a little bit how anything is gonna anything. What do I do? Fuck. Yeah, there's a spring where the bomb was. I think that's just to make it so you can't use the bomb while the P-switch is activated. I don't know though. Alright, we're gonna have to hit 2 POW blocks. So, oh, that's not hard actually. I'll just throw one twice. Wait, did we just fucking beat it? Can I just throw one twice? Did we fucking beat this level? What if we just throw this POW block? Throw that POW block. Beat the fucking level? Beat the fucking level? Let me through! Did we just fucking beat it? I feel like we just beat it. Wait, there's spikes there. Wait, there's spikes. There's spikes there. I can't walk over the spikes. Where's the mushroom? We need a mushroom or something. No, we can use the vine. Wait. Okay, wait. We can use the vine. So, all right, wait, I got this. The phone got this. We gotta go. We gotta go fast. I don't even know if I need this. Just fucking hit the vine. All right. Fuck you. Get out of the way. Okay. This should fucking work. Carry me to victory! Yes! I fucking did it! Right? What the fuck? 26 seconds left. I get the fucking fact that you have to use the goddamn vine to cross those spikes. You absolutely need that vine to cross those spikes. You absolutely do. You would die on those spikes without the vine. I fucking feel like I'm on top of the world. Finally figured out this just fucking giant ass puzzle. Get through the door with 26 seconds on the clock. And I just see Mario just falling and the gold tape just above him and just, oh my god, dude. This isn't gonna work. I can't carry the POW. How do I solve this puzzle? I can't carry the POW while I'm on the vine. So I don't bring the POW at the end. That's not it. Even if I do what I did last time, when I'm traveling over the spikes on the vine, I can't carry a POW while you're traveling on a vine. Can I push it? I can't put it somewhere. Like, there's no space in there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's fucking vines at the... What I was saying was, the way I'm going to solve this puzzle is by using the vines at the end of the... That's what I was saying the whole time. Yeah, man. I'm really proud of myself for thinking of that solution. That was a puzzle. That was a puzzle well done, man. I'm going to really just pat myself on the back. Like, that one was... We can bring the spring through the P-switch door. I still don't get how to get the key. Well, okay, let's go through the door. I'm pretty sure the only way to go through the door is to stand on the POW block. Let's do it like this. Oh, I get it. I totally get it. Oh, it's a helmet. Die. And I'm trapped. And just like that, I'm fucking... Right? Yeah, I'm trapped. I'm absolutely trapped. I'm pretty sure. I'm trapped. I'm absolutely trapped. Sean! This should let me enter the door. Okay. What's gonna happen? What? What the fuck? I got crushed. Wait a minute. How did he upload that level? Because you have to beat a level without restarting from checkpoint. So that means there's 2 exits. So there's another exit to this level. I think what I'm gonna do to get this key, I think I can get the key right now, honestly. I'm pretty sure I can just get the key right now. I kind of want to do it with a P-switch instead, but I'm not 100% sure. It should work with a spring, though. All right, here's my plan. Here's my master plan. If this isn't it, I fucking have no idea how to solve this puzzle. So here's the plan. YOLO. Fuck yes, we got... And I'm an idiot! I'm a stupid motherfucking idiot! I didn't move the launcher first. If I had moved the launcher first, I would be able to get out right here, and then we do the P-switch grab again, fucking beat the goddamn level. Oh my god. On the plus side, my plan worked. I'm gonna call that one a victory because my plan fucking worked. Every time. How does this happen so consistently? Does this work still? No, it doesn't. What was the difference? What just happened? Is it because he didn't have a place to come up and so it died because it didn't have so they used to be able to kill munchers and everything by spitting pows at them like that, but they patched it. You couldn't do that anymore. So I clearly spit it on it the first time and it didn't die, and then the second time. What was different? All right, I don't even know what's going on anymore. We're solving the puzzle by just like sheer luck at this point. So now we just need to spit the spring back out and then do this. And then we got it? All right. Yo, we in there. We in there. What the? We're not in there. We're not in there at all. We're not even a little bit in there. Ah, shit. Of fucking course, man. Every time. Oh, God. The other plan is we're going to send the shell on a magical journey. And then we're going to do... Let me think about how this is going to work. I do use the P-switch, huh? I do use the P-switch. So the P-switch is going to go... Dude, we're solving the puzzle last time. We don't even know it. So we're going to use the P-switch there. Don't come back to life, please. We're going to put this one over there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to kick this, go over here, and then while the shell is falling... Oh, you son of a bitch, Sean! You fucking son of a bitch! You knew I was gonna do that! You fucking knew I was gonna do that! Because POWs destroy any enemy touching the ground, so I had to use the POW while the shell was falling, and while I used it while it was falling, it knocked out the muncher that it needed to get through there. So I do it, I just do it 2 seconds later when it hits the spring. Alright. As soon as it hits the spring, that's when I fucking do it. Oh my god. Every... goddamn time. See, right now, with the muncher there, that's going to have a platform to go on. I'm just going to leave this here. Alright. 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 No spaghetti. Please, mama, no spaghetti. Yes! We fucking did it! Alright, is that the end? How do I win now? Now we just got to go in that door. We just got to go in that door. Don't fuck it up at the end. All we need to do is go through the door. So all we need to do is use the POW block and then go through the door. I think we got this. You can go through these conveyors really fast if you get like the perfect godly duck jumps. Oh, I almost had it. In there. In there. Fucking quit. Fucking quit. Oh my fucking god. Why? You're a dirty man, Sean. You're a dirty man. It's actually really impressive that he's able to do that every time. I know, he always does it in a different way. Of course it kills you afterwards too. Like it wasn't a gentle troll.
I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart.